So, I am going to discuss today about, what's the topic? Devotion, the need and not the goal. So to understand that, we have to first question ourselves. What is happiness? What is the goal of life? Even before that, this is a question. Now, the goal of everybody's life is happiness and peace and satisfaction. There's no doubt about it. Some people want money, some people want poetry, music, some people philosophy. Other people are doing science. But whatever anybody is doing, anything in this material world, idea is they have to be happy. Is it okay? That's the point. You want money to be happy. Comforts, house, things, cell phones, bikes. Ultimately it is happiness. So, but the question Gita asks you is, are you happy? And that is what is Gita all about. If one question you want to ask Gita, what Gita is dealing with, this is the question: are we happy? And how to become happy? That's the solution in Gita. So I am going to discuss entire Gita now, but from a different perspective, from a little different perspective. In all 18 chapters, Krishna is developing a theme to convince us that we cannot be happy without God. That is what is Gita all about. That's all. But how he comes to this conclusion, that I am going to tell you. How you come to this conclusion that without God you cannot be happy, because we can't accept just like that. Without God I can't be happy. Why should I accept God first of all? No? There's so many questions will come to your mind. So Gita is a scientific book, and it is slowly concluding from this question, are we happy, which Arjuna is asking himself in first chapter. Am I happy in this situation? I am on battlefield. I am about to kill my relatives, Bhishma, Drona. I am not happy in this situation. And the whole point is, I want to become happy. No, that's Arjuna's point. No, and Arjuna is planning, I can be happy if I don't fight. That's the solution. Do you agree? Yes or no? Everybody knows this, no? So I can't be happy. I can be happy without fighting. That's his plan. But Krishna's plan is, no Arjun, you can be happy if you fight this war. That is Krishna's plan. That is why this is first chapter is observing the armies. It is all about observation. First chapter is helping us to understand we observe this material world through our own eyes or through our own spectacles. The spectacles of our own intelligence, our own desires, and we see this world and come to some conclusion that, okay, if I do this, I'll be happy. If I do this, I'll be sad. So I opt for this path, and that's okay. No, that is observation. And what is Gita all about? Krishna is trying to convince Krishna is trying to convince Arjun. Arjun, don't try to observe this world through your own eyes. Observe this world through my eyes. That is perspective. Gita is trying to shift our perspective. That's Gita all about. So, you see this, there's a tiger, this jungle. Now this is one example for perspective. Now suppose if I leave you in this place, will you be happy? Of course not. And if I give you your Mac computer, Apple i6, everything you want, but you are here with this tiger in the jungle, lost, you can never be happy, no? Even if you have everything with you. So that's the point. That is what Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna. Arjuna, you have to focus here. Yes. So that is what Krishna is telling in chapter 2. Arjun, anybody who is at bodily platform, He might have everything, but he will not be happy. He is in a jungle, a tiger. And people who are at platform of soul, they might have nothing with them, but they are happy because there is no tiger there. That's all. So in second chapter, Krishna gives knowledge of soul and body to make us understand. The point is, see, even we have body and we have soul. People who are not doing devotion, they have body, they have soul. But the point is where your focus is, your perspective. Ordinary people, they think they are bodies. Devotees know that they are soul within this body. Now, I'll give you one example. Suppose these two equations are there. 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 1, 2. Is there any difference between these two equations? Anybody?
No.
No difference, no?
Yeah.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Now there is one difference. That's the problem. Now the point is people see devotees and people see ordinary person with who is having no idea of Gita and anything else. So as people say, what's the difference? You are living in house, they are living in house. You are eating, they are eating. You are sleeping, they are sleeping. There is no difference. But there is a difference in these two equations, because the first equation is written by a child and the second equation is written by a chartered accountant. Now you can understand what's the difference. The first equation is 1 plus 1, 2. That's numbers. Second equation is written by a chartered accountant. This is 1 crore plus 1 crore is equal to 2 crores. This is not number, this is money. You understand? So it depends who is handling these equations. That matters, no? For chartered accountant, 1 is not a number, it is money, 1 crore. For a child, 1 is a number. So you can give a diamond to a child, a diamond to an adult person. For a child, diamond is what? It's a stone. What a child will do with the diamond? Put in the mouth, that's all. He doesn't understand what's that. It's a stone, it's another stone.
Krishna.
You can come inside. I mean to say, little, you can all come.
Yeah.
What's the point, you know?
There is
What's that?
everybody
What's it like? Come forward, all of you. Excuse me.
Rajiv Prabhu and
Oh, fine.
You have to come forward, all of you. Because again we'll get disturbed. If somebody comes then, so it disturbs the whole talk. Okay, so for a child, diamond is a stone, but for an adult person, diamond is tangible. For a lion, a woman is a meat. For a child, woman is mother. For a young boy, woman is girlfriend. For a saint, woman is mother. So it depends how you perceive this world. And according to that perception, your thoughts will change. No? So this is all second chapter about. And that is why in third and fourth chapter, Krishna gives us one theme. Krishna explains one principle. Actions are same, but thoughts are different. This is what is Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Karma Yoga means actions are same, but you're thinking different. That's Jnana Yoga. So the point is, devotees also take bath. Non-devotees also take bath, no? It's the same. Actions are same. When you're in bathroom, you don't have this stress, you know. You are same. Devotees sleep, non-devotees also sleep. Non-devotees means you do not have any idea of devotion, no knowledge. You don't know who is God. Non-devotees means whose aim of life is money, name and fame. So both of them will sleep, both of them will take bath, but there is a difference. Actions are same, but thoughts are different. Now when a devotee takes bath, his focus is on what? His focus is on soul. Devotee, when he is taking bath, he is thinking, actions are same, but he is thinking that I am making my body clean. Okay? When a non-devotee is taking bath, what is thinking?
I'm cleaning myself.
I am cleansing myself. There's a difference, no? There's a lot of difference. And why there's a difference, I'll tell you. So you might think, oh, it doesn't matter. But it matters. When a devotee sleeps, he thinks, I'm making this machine sleep to give it energy so that again next day I'll use this machine to understand God. When a non-devotee sleeps, he thinks, I'm sleeping. So, is there any difference between two of them? Is there any difference?
Well, no, so there's a difference between the body and the soul.
Okay, yeah, devotee understands there's difference between body and soul, non-devotee doesn't. But how does it matter to all of us, no? How does it matter? It matters. That is what Gita is all about. It matters a lot. And how it matters is, that is chapter 5. Chapter 5, Krishna is explaining. Actions are the same, thoughts are different, but it matters because thoughts lead to utility. Actions, change of actions might be same, but if thoughts are different, utility will be different. A devotee who is thinking, I am soul, I am not this body, I am using my body, that's all. I am making my body sleep, I am making my body bathe, I am giving this body food, but I am soul different from body. His utility will be, he understands that soul belongs to what? Soul belongs to God. A non-devotee who is thinking, I am this body, I am sleeping, I am taking bath, he thinks, my body belongs to whom? My wife, my children, no? Utility is different. A devotee will utilize his body for the service of God. Because he understands that I am soul. This body is not mine. Both soul and body are property of God. But non-devotee has no idea. And he thinks my body is property of whom? My wife, my children, everybody around me. So it makes a difference. A devotee uses his money and everything in service of God, but a non-devotee uses his money and everything in service of his own relations with the body. No? You understand? So thoughts matter. Thoughts matter a lot. A surgeon, he can have knife in his hand. A terrorist can also have knife in his hand, but both have different thoughts. A terrorist is thinking, I'll kill. I'll use this knife to kill. Surgeon is thinking, I'll use this knife to operate. And result will be totally different. One will kill, one will put knife in the stomach. Surgeon also put knife in stomach, but one will save life, one will kill life. No. So thoughts matter, ideas matter. You have heard that? Idea. Because an idea can change your life. That is what is all about, no material world. An idea can change your life. So this idea of Bhagavad Gita can change your life. One idea, you are not this body, your soul, can change your life. So thoughts different, utility different. This is chapter 5. Now, chapter 6 is all about focus. When you utilize your money and your body and your house in service of God, then your focus is on God automatically. No? When we utilize our things in service of somebody else, our focus is there. Simple. Especially in household life, no? Wherever there is money, a householder, his mind is there wherever his money is there, no? For householders, in household life, it is a bitter fact, bitter truth, that your heartbeats are connected to your bank account. No? It's a joke, but it's like that. You don't need to do ECG for that. You can check your bank account and tell whether you are having hypocardia or hypocardia. It's simple. As simple as that. So focus matters. A devotee householder, his heartbeat is connected to Krishna, not to bank account. Because he understands that money and everything, because he's engaging everything in Krishna, no service. So his attachment goes to Krishna. For a non-devotee, he's thinking, I am this body, these are mine things, and he is utilizing his everything energy for his wife, for his relatives, for his everything, whatever, friends. So his heart gets connected to that. Attachment, those whom you serve, you get attached to that person. This is a law, no? It's simple as that. If you serve your country, you become attached to country. If you serve your girlfriend, you become attached to girlfriend. You serve your dog, you become attached to your dog. If you serve God, you attach to God. Simple. It's not a big philosophy. It is common sense. So that is 6th chapter. Focus matters. Focus matters. We have to focus on God. And only those who can understand that I am soul and I am not this body, they can focus on God. Otherwise it's impossible to focus. Because your whole thinking is different. Only person who knows I am soul, he can understand that I am not this body and this soul belongs to God. Is it? But people who think I am this body, for them this body belongs to their parents, this body belongs to their wife, to their kids. So their whole life changes, whole paradigm changes, no? Everything changes in their life. That is 6th chapter. Krishna says, focus on me. Focus on me. Don't focus on any other thing. And if you want to focus on me, keep this thought in your mind. I am soul, I am not this body. And Prabhupada, in all his lectures, if you see, right from first day to last 10, Prabhupada is always emphasizing on this point, your soul, you're not this body, your soul, you're not this body. I used to think, why Prabhupada is always talking about this point? No. Is there nothing good, nothing else to talk about? But one devotee, he asked Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, founder and charge of ISKCON, anybody doesn't know. Prabhupada, somebody devotee asked Prabhupada, is there no other topic? You're always talking about you're not this body, your soul. So Prabhupada said, have you realized this? So devotee said, no. Prabhupada says, okay, that's why I'm repeating. That is the foundation. If you have a building is so nice. What's the most important part in the building?
Foundation.
Foundation, but you can't see it. That's the tragedy of foundation. You can't see foundation, but that's the most important part. Similarly, in spirituality, this concept that I am soul, I am not this body, this is foundation of spirituality. If you can understand this, entire Gita will follow. If you miss this point, nothing follows. So, okay. Now, chapter 7th. Krishna is talking about 7th chapter to 11th chapter. Krishna says, anybody who is at bodily platform, he'll be selfish. Is it? Anybody who is at soul platform, he's selfless. So Gita is making a difference. See, first, 2nd chapter Krishna gave out concept of soul and body. At the level of soul, to people who are living their life considering themselves soul in this body, they are God conscious because they know soul belongs to God. First difference. And people who are living their life on bodily platform, who have no knowledge of soul, they are not God conscious. They might think they are God conscious, but they are not God conscious. They might do some puja, ting ting ting. God conscious is, God worship is different, God conscious is different. There is a difference between two things. You can worship God, but you can be conscious of money. No? Rich people, they have temple, they have God, but they are conscious of money. So that can happen like that. Or a terrorist. A terrorist can rob money and do whatever, but a terrorist is conscious of, I have to kill. No? That's his conscious all about. So, there's a first difference. Second difference between a person on soul platform and on bodily platform is, Krishna is telling, on bodily platform you are selfish. The 7th chapter to 11th chapter Krishna is explaining this. On soul platform you are selfless. So what do you mean by selfishness? Anybody tell me what do you mean by selfishness? Bodily platform you are selfish. Anybody who considers himself body, he will be selfish. You know why? He is body. So if you think you are body, then fear comes, no? Immediate fear comes. You are this body. So you have to take care of this body, no? You have to secure this body. If there are diseases, you have to health insurance. You are talking. So there is a fear on bodily platform. Fear comes. Hunger, thirst, diseases. So with this body conscious, you get fear. And your whole life is not aimed towards attaining happiness. If you think properly, your whole life is aimed toward actually getting your unhappiness, making yourself secure actually. That's your whole life, no? That's your whole life. If you think about it, why we have this house? Actually, really not to make us comfortable, but to make us secure, no? Is it? We fear what will happen. Why we have banks? For happiness? No. We fear our money can be robbed by somebody else. Why women marry? Why females marry? It's not for happiness, it's for security. Females are insecure. Is it? I'm right. They feel insecurity. What will happen if I'm alone in the society? So it's all insecurity. And that fear, to get rid of that fear, we are doing everything. But for happiness, we are not doing anything. Why we have money? Because we feel insecurity. We will have no fame, no prestige. What will others say about me? My friend will say, I have Apple i6, you have Apple i5. What will happen to me? My prestige will go down. So you get Apple i6. Why? Because you don't feel good in that. But the point is, your prestige. So that's what Krishna is trying to make us understand, 7 to 11 chapter. People who are at bodily platform, they are not working for happiness. It's an illusion. At bodily platform, you are working to get your fear, to reduce your fear, to reduce your hunger, to reduce your sadness, to reduce your sorrows. That's all. Nothing is happening for happiness. That's an illusion. Simple as that. That is selfishness. We are trying to fulfill our own desires. This is my desire. I should be secure. I should not have any problems. Okay, good. But soul platform, you are selfless. Why? Because at soul platform you understand my connection is with God, so I should serve God. I should not fulfill my desires, I should fulfill God's desire. Simple as that, no? So that's with Arjuna. Arjuna doesn't want to fight. Krishna says, Arjun, your not fighting is a problem there because it is a selfish desire. You don't want to fight. Why you don't want to fight? Because you think if my relatives will die, if people will die, my brothers, what will happen? He's thinking on bodily platform. I have relationship with my body. Krishna says, but if you serve me, then you are selfless. Then you are no longer thinking about body. This is 7 to 11 chapter. Selfishness and selflessness. Whole spirituality is based on this point. A non-devotee can never be selfless. A devotee can never be selfish. There's a difference between both of their lives. A devotee is always thinking about God, his happiness, and devotee's happiness. A non-devotee is thinking about his own happiness and happiness of his body relationships. That's all. That's pretty much all selfishness. And selfish people can never be happy. Is it? Can they be happy? No. Selfish people are always in anxiety. Who likes selfish people? Do you like? Do you want a friend who is selfish? Anybody? No. If we don't like selfish people, why God will like selfish people? He doesn't like. So Krishna says, get rid of this selfishness. And that can be only done by knowledge of Gita. Otherwise you can't get rid of this selfishness. Okay. So how to get rid of selfishness? Two things. Gita and holy name. That's all. That's finished. You just need two things in your life. You don't need to reduce anything, you need to add these two things. No subtraction, addition. Make your life centered on these two things. Instead of newspaper, read Gita. You can read newspaper better read Gita. Instead of talking nonsense, chant the holy names of Krishna. Simple. Spend your time like that. Life is not big, too big to experiment. It's not. Is it big? Life is big. Do you feel it's big? No. And I'm 39 years and it just went like that. You all, I don't know, your age maybe 45, 50, something like that. Do you feel I have spent 50 years? Nobody feels like that, no? All of you feeling, if you consider about feeling, you feel that I was born and now in one moment I am this, no? Is it? It's like that, no? So life is a flash between death and birth. It will go like this. And we'll not even understand what's happening. So we have to spend our life in some good things, in Gita and holy name. And 13 to 14 chapter, Krishna is saying, if you take to one knowledge of Gita, if you understand your soul, you're not this body, then your stress will reduce. 13, 14 chapter, 3 modes of nature. Enjoyer and consciousness, your enjoying propensity reduces, your temptations reduce, your desires reduce. So if your desires reduce, your stress reduces. Simple. The more you have desires, the more you are anxious. The less desires you have, the more satisfied you are. The more satisfied you are, the more peaceful. The more peaceful you are, the more happy. Simple logic, 6th chapter, if you read that. A person who has desires, he can never be happy. Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita. And the trick is to get rid of all those desires. And desires you cannot get rid if you are thinking you are this body. It's impossible. So Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita, a devotee is callous towards diseases, hunger, profit and loss. He doesn't care for it. Okay. If a devotee has cancer, no, I was telling he has no problem. No. Okay, something has happened to body, no problem. I am soul. You know, once it happened, one American Mataji, American female, she was about to do suicide in America. So she, in America they don't hang. How they do suicide is, they sit in the car, you take exhaust, put a pipe and put in the car, close the windows and on the car. So all the poisonous gas will fill in the car and then you will die. I don't know, it's a painful death or but that's the system in America. So what they did, she put a pipe inside the window, closed all the windows, opened the car, and she was about to open the car. What happened was, one devotee came and he was showing her Bhagavad Gita and she's going to die, so she told no, from inside the window. I don't want, get lost. So the devotee, he thought something's wrong, you know. He took Bhagavad Gita and put it on front screen like that, and he went away. So she was seeing that book. She was seeing, what's this? And on the book it was written, you are not this body. There was a caption below, you are not this body. And she saw that line, and she thought, maybe I should read this book before dying. I should check out what's happening. Anyway, I'm going to die. Now the point was, she was dying because she was very fat. Obesity, Americans. It's like, so she was like really worried about her fatness. People used to criticize her, you're fat, this. But she read first time in her life, you're not this body. So she was thinking, my God, this is a solace for me. I'm not this body, so I'm not fat, then who am I? So she opened the window, she took the book, she read the entire book, and then she became a devotee. She dropped the idea of suicide. Because she could understand, she is not this body, she is neither fat, neither thin. She is soul. And that knowledge, simply that one statement saved her life. You can imagine? So thoughts matter, no? Ideas matter. So devotees do not, there's no problem for devotees. You have cancer, no problem. Anyway, a body will get another body, what's a big deal? This problem? No problem. You get another body and it's good, you get a fresh body. No? Prabhupada says in his Gita Prabhupada, Krishna tells to Arjuna, you shoot. Don't worry that Bhishma will die. It is good if he leaves his, you know how much old Bhishma was? What was his age? 800 years. Bhishma had this, क्या कहते हैं उसको? boon, इच्छा मृत्यु. He will die by his own will. He was 800 years. So Krishna, anyway, see, the point is, if you don't kill, I'll kill him. I'm determined to kill everybody. You kill him, don't worry, he will get another body, some fresh body. It's not now it's too old, 800 years. So from that perspective also, you don't have to worry about that. You see, it makes a difference, no? If a non-devotee, he gets cancer, he gets sick, he will go mad. A devotee, no, many devotees in ISKCON, some of devotees, one devotee I went to Vrindavan, he got cancer, and we met him, he was very happy. No problems. He was chanting Krishna's name, and we asked him, you're okay? No anxiety. He told, what's the problem? Nothing has happened to me, it's happened to my body. And to a non-devotee ask, you practically go ahead. If anybody of you get cancer, you'll go mad 100%. You go practically mad. What has happened to me? So accidents, Prabhupada says in the purport, devotees are callous toward accidents. Okay, if you get an accident, if your hand is cut, no problem. It's okay. Mad, it's my body, no? Nothing has happened to me. So it's okay. So that is why devotee is having no stress. He understands he is not this body. And if you understand, if you think your body, then all problems start. That one thought will lead you to all problems. All problems. And you cannot understand that you are not this body without reading Gita. It's a secret knowledge. And then you have to practice. You have to practice it. You have to always remember in your mind. So, 13, 14 chapter. 15 chapter is God is equal to happiness. So people at platform of soul, they are not thinking about body, they are thinking about God, super soul. They are talking about God, that leads to them happiness. Because God is reservoir of all happiness. Because soul has eternal relationship with super soul. If you connect yourself with super soul, then you can be happy. Like Prabhupada gives that example. If a child is lost, he can never be happy unless you take the child to his parents. No. Similarly, until unless we don't get connected to God, there is no question of happiness. We are not connected to our Father. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, or 2nd chapter, 61st verse, Nastir buddhirayuktasya na cha yuktasya bhavna na cha abhavyata shanti ashantasya kutasya. Famous verse. People whose intelligence is not connected to me, to God, people whose emotions are not connected to me, they can never be peaceful. And the person who is never peaceful, who is not peaceful, how can be happy? And you ask anybody, nobody is happy around them. They simply laugh. No? That's American culture. Good morning, thank you. And nobody is happy. This culture is not. This culture will force you to become unhappy. This is designed like that. But knowledge of Gita is designed to make you happy. Even if you don't want to become happy, if you come with devotees, you'll automatically become happy. Is it? It's like that, no? It's nice. But if you go to some non-devotees, automatically you'll become unhappy. Because everybody there, you know, if you go to some party, so what people will be talking there? See, I got a profit of $1 million, maybe something. He'll say, see, I got Mercedes yesterday. And he'll say, okay, I got this profit. And you'll be thinking, my God, I didn't get anything. So their talks will produce anxiety in you, no? Automatically. But when you come with devotees, what they talk? About Krishna. No anxieties. Simple. It's so nice. That is, God is equals happiness. This 15th chapter. And 16th and 7th, oh, this is good. 16th chapter, Krishna is giving a logic. If you are selfless, you get all good qualities. You see this table? A person who is at the level of soul, level of soul means who knows that I am soul within this body. If he gets money, what is going to do with that money? What is going to do with that money? Serve God, no? He utilizes for God because he knows my connection is with God. So he is satisfied. If person at the level of soul, if he doesn't get money, what happens to him? No problem. Still he is satisfied. His life is always a success. With money or without money. Because success is satisfaction. Success is not money. You get my point? most of the rich people in the world, in the history, they either committed suicide or they became mad. You go on Google, search what happened to them. Most of them. The more rich you become, the more unhappy you become. This is the law. Because money brings with itself 18 bad qualities. It's said in scriptures. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says 18 bad qualities money brings. What are those bad qualities? Greed. Greed? Become greedy, no? At least one. Enviousness. You have money, you become envious of people who are richer than you. So if you have $4 billion, you'll not be happy. You'll be more dissatisfied. I have 4 billion, he has 5 billion, so I have to get 5 billion. Because at that time your hopes and your plans have increased, no? And with money comes fear of losing that money. With money comes insecurity of having more money, no? With money comes struggle to earn that money. So what good is money for them? That is why Krishna says in Bhagavatam to Uddhav, I don't know why people earn money. It's illogical. Minimal money you require to live. That's all. So it is said in English, no? What's that? What's that? Need and greed. What's that? Entire word is sufficient. Things are sufficient for need, but they're not sufficient for greed. No greed. That's a problem. So you see, at level of soul, you are happy. Even if you have money, even if you don't have money, no problem. Your life is always success because you're connected with God. But what about a person who is thinking his body? If he has money, for whom he will spend? His body. So I am this body, so he'll spend on his body, no? And he'll spend people who are related to his body. That's all his whole life will be. So he will feel frustration if you spend money for yourself on this body. No matter how much you spend, his body is going to deteriorate, no? You can't keep this body permanently. In America, there's so much health conscious, no? This, that, multivitamins, proteins. Everybody wants proteins. And they spend so much, but ultimately, you can't keep this body forever. So ultimately, frustration. And you spend money on your relatives, on your children, on your wife, on your relatives, and the same relatives, what they will do when you become old? Old age home, no? America. In your front of your house, there's an old age home. They're out. So, people who think they are this body, their life will end in frustration. 100%. If you don't believe me, you can ask people who have money what's happening. Do a census, no? Why do you want to do experiment with your life? Do a census. People who have earned money, ask them what they have achieved. You will come to know. Where do you want to go on the same track? And unnecessarily waste your life. So his life is frustrated and failure if he has money. If he has no money, then of course he is frustrated and he is thinking himself failure. So at the level of body, whether you have money or no money, your life is frustrating. At level of soul, if you are leading life with the knowledge of soul, your life with money or no money, you are satisfied and successful. This is 16th chapter. Krishna says all good qualities will come in a devotee. This is good quality, sense of satisfaction and sense of success. This is all about devotion. And 17th chapter is Shraddha, faith. Faith means focus. So the more you focus on God, the more you focus on soul, the more peaceful you become. The more you focus on this word, the more you focus on your body, the more stressful you will become. And that is why 18th chapter Krishna says, you know what is this verse? 18th chapter, 78th verse, last verse. Anybody knows Sanskrit for this? Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, yes,
यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीविजयो
Neter mater mama. There will also be certainly opulence, victory, extraordinary power, morality. That is my opinion. That is Krishna's opinion. Our opinion is something else.
That is Sanjay's opinion actually.
Yes, Sanjay is guided by Krishna, no?
Yeah, right. But he is telling.
Yeah, but yes,
Dhritarashtra
Sanjay is telling
at the end.
Dhritarashtra. But Sanjay can read mind of Krishna
Right.
because he's devotee of God. So this is the opinion of Sanjay or Krishna. Krishna. Wherever there is Krishna and wherever there is devotee, Arjuna or devotees like Arjuna, who accepts knowledge of Krishna. Arjuna now at the end of the Gita he accepts Krishna. I accept whatever you say. So if you accept whatever Krishna says in Gita, apply in your life, and what will happen? There will also be certainly be opulence. Opulence means, what is opulence devotee has? You know opulence? What does opulence?
Abundance.
It's an old word. Aishwarya.
Actually.
So what do you mean by that?
Abundance.
So
Abundance of
of what?
wealth.
Of money?
Of wealth.
So wealth means what?
Wealth means internal wealth.
So real opulence is not money. Real opulence is satisfaction. No? Real wealthy person is who has peace and satisfaction. He is the most wealthy person. Others are miser. They have nothing. So that there will be opulence. There will be victory. Victory over what? Victory over death. No death for devotees. So we don't die. We will not devotees do not die. People who are not connected to God, they will die. You know what's the difference? In scriptures it is said, when time of death comes for devotees, they'll close their eyes and the next moment they'll open, they are in spiritual world. It's like sleeping. For them death is sleeping. You sleep, you open your eyes and you are in spiritual world. But for non-devotees it's not like that. They die. They close their eyes and the next moment they are in hell. Or maybe death is very painful for a non-devotee because it is explained in Garud Puran what happens at the time of death. At the time of death, for people who are not connected to God, they will experience pain equal to 30,000 scorpions biting you at one time. That kind of pain you will feel. Your breath is stopping, no? If you stop your breath, you can imagine, what kind of turmoil you have. It stops, you have pain all over your body. So victory over death, no death for them. It's a sleep. And we go back, then no more birth and death out of it. With extraordinary power. Wherever there is knowledge of Gita and Krishna and Arjuna, there is extraordinary power. Extraordinary power means, what do you mean by extraordinary power? What kind of power do we have? Muscles? So what power we have? What do you say? The power of devotion, by the power by which you can fight illusion, effect of illusion, temptations. You can fight temptations. No? Temptations, the force of temptations is impossible to control. But the power of Krishna will safeguard you from all temptations. That is extraordinary power, no? Nobody can stop temptations. Even if he is super strong or whatever, super intelligent, you can't do that. Only by doing devotion you can conquer temptations. And morality. Morality means all good qualities. Krishna says that is my opinion. This is Bhagavad Gita all about. So if we read Bhagavad Gita, we will be happy, peaceful and satisfied. Hare Krishna. Any questions? I finished Bhagavad Gita again. Yesterday I did from some other perspective. Today I took from some other perspective. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, one question is, every day Krishna is saying focus on me, you will be happy.
Yeah.
And a politician will say the same thing, focus on me, I will give you this, that, I will give you money.
Communist, yeah.
So what's the difference between Krishna and a politician?
Well, politician is saying focus on me because he is not concerned with you. He wants to exploit you.
No, it may
He is not concerned with you. Nobody is concerned with anybody. Nobody. If we think somebody is concerned for me, that's illusion. Nobody is concerned. This is the word. What do you think? This health insurance people are concerned about us? No. Who says no? They want to exploit us. So ultimately, even if they're concerned, that's very less. More is
Yes,
selfishness.
sometimes it's serving politicians. Some people get all sorts of cars that benefit, material benefits, all sorts of things.
So that's what I've been explaining. No, if you are at body platform, no happiness. No, they can give you car, they can give you so many things. But at the end of the day, what? Your desires increase more. Not another car, no. Your desires increase, more desires, less satisfaction. So politicians are giving you more because they know that when you get more, you want more, and then you will shop, and then who will make the profit? They are very very intelligent people. They know how to control people. Everybody wants to control everybody else. Nobody, except devotees of God, everybody is selfish. If you don't believe me, you can analyze. It's like that only. Our relatives are selfish now. What do we think they help us? At the time of difficulty, they are the first person who will not help us. And when we have some money, then they will come, all of them. I want money. This word is not for gentlemen. Prabhupada used to say. Prabhupada said this.
Well, another question is selfish. Everybody is selfish, either to be materially happy or spiritually happy. So everybody is in a way just selfish. Either I am serving Krishna because I want my happiness by serving Krishna. Another person is I want Mercedes Benz to be happy. So everybody is.
But there is a difference between two selfishness. That selfishness is for our own. But in spirituality, the selfishness is for Krishna. We need something for Krishna. So selfishness for God is called selflessness. That is what scripture says, no? Here we want for ourselves, but there we want for God. A devotee wants money, why? To enjoy. He doesn't want money. He is satisfied with 𝗙𝗲𝗶𝗶. But he'll engage money in service of God. He'll open temples, distribute puja. But in this material world, they will take money and for themselves they'll be using. So there's a difference between two. Big difference. You see saints in India, they have two dhoti, no? Two kurta. What? They are not selfish. You give them money, everything they'll give in charity or in Krishna's service. I also have what I have. Two dhoti, two kurta. I have to wash now my dhoti kurta. Now I have to go home. I don't have anything to wear tomorrow. So, if you give me money, what I'll do? I'll engage in service of God. Is this selfishness? This absolute selflessness. Absolute selflessness. And why we are selfless? Because of Krishna. Because we are connected to Him. He is good. That is why we are good. If we don't connect to Him, we will become bad. So that's it. So yeah, and you wanted to ask something? Who was asking? Okay, any other questions? Is it?
Could you explain something, people want to do some welfare activities,
Yeah.
they build hospital, things like that, so
Philanthropic activities.
so what level they're in?
Yeah, Prabhupada says people like to open hospitals, help poor. That's not exactly bad. It's better than doing nonsense things. But it's not ideal. Because if we are serving society, serving poor people, the first point is, if we want to save a drowning man, we should first know how to save ourselves. If a person is drowning and if you jump and if you don't know swimming, he will drown and he will also drown. That's a problem. So first you should know swimming, then you can help that person. So there's a lot of talk, serving society, serving people, serving that here, but first you know how to save yourself. Then you can save others. You're yourself in birth, death, disease. Birth and death, you're bonded. You're yourself full of anxieties, yourself full of tensions, no idea of soul, no idea of God. How can we help that person? So that's the point Krishna is making. First, perfect. You know, in aeroplanes, I was there. So there was an announcement. If there's lack of oxygen, that is there, that mask.
Yeah, mask.
So I was listening to them what they're saying. So at one point of time, that air hostess she announced, if there's lack of oxygen, So first put mask on yourself and then help others. So I thought, this is Gita, because Krishna is saying, if everybody is dying, first help yourself. Otherwise you will die and he will also die. So first thing is helping ourselves by Gita's knowledge, and when we know the solution how to become happy, then we can give others solution. If we also do not know the solution, and if we give beggars some money, if we help them, what will happen? Their desires will increase. And you know what? Nowadays to do charity is also very difficult. You can't do charity. It's very difficult to do charity. People will say he's doing charity because he wants to save taxes, and then he will save money from taxes and invest somewhere and get profits. It's difficult. People who are doing charity in India, NGOs and all those, they are facing a lot of difficulties. Everywhere there is criticism. And so if you are doing charity, other people will criticize like this. And to the people who are blind people, if you are giving all those food and all those, at the end of the day, you give them money, nobody is going to use your money for giving them food. All money will be going something else. Nobody cares for that. So the times have changed. It's not the age of doing philanthropic. If you give money to beggar, what he'll do? He'll drink alcohol. And so if you give food to beggar, he will return you. I want money. No, it happens. No, nobody takes food. Once there was a beggar and I gave him 1 rupee. You know what he did? He took out 10 rupees, gave it to me. You keep 1 rupee. So they want to fulfill their desires, and this, in the name of charity, we are actually not benefiting them. We are harming them by increasing their desires. That's all. So when I was working in hospital, government hospital, so many people come. So I was working in Hindura hospital. So there were many patients. So when patients used to come, then they were like so sick and in pain. So they used to, in India, if you are in pain, Hey Ram, they're shouting Hey Ram, Hey Krishna. So I was thinking it's better they always remain sick. Because as soon as they become treated, they become okay, then they'll go out and no Ram, no Krishna, now I am there. And they will do all sinful activities. So anyway, when I was in government hospital, I didn't used to treat them. Remain sick. As you tell nurse, don't give medicine. More time he'll be there in hospital, more time he'll chant God's name. Let him chant. Otherwise he'll go out and drink alcohol, kill somebody. That's what they are doing, no, poor people. They are killing, fighting, abusing. So better he is. I'm not saying you should not treat. I'm not saying that. The point I'm making is that sometimes when you help others, you think it is help, but it might be harming him. That's the point. So you should know how to help them. That is why it is said in scriptures, if you're a doctor, just don't treat him, give him knowledge of God also. So that when he becomes treated, healthy, then he devotes his life to God. He doesn't implicate himself in sinful activities. That's the whole program. So if you don't know how to save yourself, how will you help him? We'll all harm them.
I have a question actually.
Yeah.
Guruji. If you can explain it better. In Bangalore also, ISKCON temple, they have a program like 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗏.
Yeah, they have.
Where they take the
Food
food
they
and distribute to the poor and needy people.
Uh-huh.
So in what angle they do that? So that's a social service, right? So
Well, it's a tricky question, sir. See, you know what? One thing you have to keep in mind, whether ISKCON or Bindu Ashram or Ramakrishna Math, any institution, in institutions, everything what happens is not right. That's an institution. Just like in hospital, all doctors are not good. Some doctors do rackets, no? Kidney rackets, liver rackets. Or maybe nowadays if you have pain in heart, if you go to doctor, 100% you'll get bypass or angio or what is it?
Even though it is not written.
Stent. Yeah, even though it's not there. That's happening. People are cheating. So this doesn't mean medical knowledge is wrong. Or maybe that hospital is wrong. The point is some people are wrong. So the point is in institutions, everything what happens may not be right. So although a particular branch of ISKCON is doing social service, ISKCON doesn't, Prabhupada never recommended that. That's not according to Prabhupada's teachings. So that's not correct. That's not right what they are doing. It's an institutional thing. So that is why I am suggesting read Gita. Take knowledge. Take knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, then even within your own group you may get confused, no? There's always confusion. If you have knowledge, no confusion. Just like so many people are here. All are devotees, no? But some devotee might have some motive. It can happen, no? You dress as a devotee, but you can have motives in your heart, no? So Prabhupada said once, I am not surprised so many people are leaving ISKCON, leaving spiritual path. I am surprised that so many of them are staying here. Because Maya, illusion will always try to create doubts, confuse you. And you get confused. That is why Gita's knowledge is very important. If you have knowledge, you will be able to understand this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. Social service, we are not interested in social service. This is not the time to do social service. It will harm people. It is not going to help.
In Gita, somewhere Krishna is telling that in every living thing or non-living thing, I am there. It's just like a thread in different beads. So, if you take that way, so giving annadan to the needy people, you can think of connecting that they are doing the annadan to the needy people, thinking those needy people are also embodiment of the God, Krishna himself.
If Krishna is there in everybody, then what exactly we should be doing? We should be connecting them to Krishna, no? That's the first thing we should do, no? If your father is there in your house, first thing we should do, connect child to father. That's the first step. Then other things will follow. If you delete this part, then nothing helps, no? You're giving food. That's what, no? If he's hungry, he's chanting Ram. As soon as he gets food, wrong thoughts.
At least once he tasted.
So we are making him away from God. So we are not saying don't give food. Give food, give knowledge of God. Ask them to chant Hare Krishna. Okay, here is food. No problem. So whenever some beggar comes, I give him money. I don't say no. So but I say first chant Hare Krishna. And they chant Hare Krishna. Okay.
Yeah. I have seen that in Mumbai also they do the same thing, but they force them to
chant. No. So that's a good thing.
First they tell Hare Krishna and then
that's the best thing. That's the best thing. So in that plea they will chant. So that's how we have to do it. We have to connect them to God, then they'll be happy. Otherwise they can't be happy. Just by giving food, who can be happy? Nobody. And then they'll feel hungry. That's all. You know, my 𝗦cy, you understand the 𝗦cy? The maternal aunt. She was a lawyer, and she became a new lawyer. So when you become new lawyer or new doctor, no, you want to help people. It's like when I became doctor, I just passed, I thought now I will help people, charity. You know, we have all ideas. So then when I went to do charity, so I didn't used to charge people. So nobody used to come. Because people thought maybe I'm mixing in medicines or something, you know. So I was thinking, my God, you can't even help people. People think, you know, if you're not asking money, they think, you know, in the drip he's putting saline, there's no medicine and all those things. So then I dropped this idea of charity. I thought, there's no practice to get this idea. So my 𝗦cy, she got lawyered, she had ideas of helping people, so she put a case for an orphan, and she won that case. She helped that orphan. She got that child. She got all funds from the government for her life. Now what happened was, No, she was very happy. Her name came in newspaper and everything. And the next day, 4 orphans came to her house. Please help us also. And the next day, there were 50 orphans on the gate. You're like, what the hell, what's happening? I can't do so many things. So the point is, we cannot help anybody. First we have to understand that. Only God can help. That's the best thing we can do for anybody. He can do the best for everybody, isn't it? He can make impossible possible. If he wants, he can make a beggar king, no? All these actresses, see, they were all beggars, no? All the film line people. All the Chunky Pandey, you know Chunky Pandey? I don't know new actors, but I know I saw. This Chunky Pandey, you know Chunky Pandey, no?
Yeah.
Maybe I was small. He was a chow mein maker in Singapore. So this Vahida Raman, she was roaming in the streets. That's all. Amitabh Bachchan, he was in Delhi University. He had nothing.
Rajnikant.
Huh?
Rajnikant.
Rajnikant also. He was a prophet. Now where he is? Everybody knows the millionaires. Who has made them millionaires? Krishna. They had some previous credits. They might have attended some kind of program like this, taken God's name. So that benefit they are getting now in form of money. You understand? So they left Krishna, but Krishna remembered, oh, they came to me once, they took my prasad, they took my name, so I have to give him something. No? If somebody goes to king has to give something. No? Otherwise people will say, he's not a king. No? King has, it is, what do we say?
Insult?
Yeah, insult. It is insult of king if he doesn't give something to people. So anybody who goes to Krishna, Krishna will make it a point to give it to you, even if you leave Krishna. Some point of life he will give you. So if you're coming once to this program, you have taken God's name, you take prasad and then never come. No problem. Krishna says, okay, he doesn't want me, but I have to give him. I am obliged. I am a king. I must give him. He has taken my name, otherwise it's my insult. So next life or this life he will give you money or whatever. He thinks whatever you desire, he will fulfill your desire. So these billionaires, they might have attended some ISKCON program. Rajnikant might have attended last life. Maybe this life. You know this Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee? Atal Bihari? Yeah, Atal Bihari. He, when he was young, he used to go to ISKCON temple. He didn't have money in Bombay. He used to walk down to ISKCON. There's a restaurant in ISKCON temple. So he used to take prasad there, khichdi prasad. And when Prabhupada was going, then Prabhupada stopped. He told the disciples, take care of this man. In future he will become a big person. At that time Prabhupada predicted by saying. So of course he didn't take to Krishna consciousness, but he didn't lose anything. He got Krishna gave him something. It is Steve Jobs, he used to go to ISKCON, no?
Yeah.
You know. Take prasad. So Krishna, take. So if you are with Krishna, you are never a loser. Never a loser. But if you are not with Krishna, you are always a loser. Always. So the best thing we can help people is to connect them to Krishna. Krishna will take care. No, rest assured. We can't do anything. We can't take care of ourselves. God will take care of it. We can't do anything. So all this concept of philanthropy activities and done, it is very low platform of help. Highest, you should think of highest help, no? Not some superficial help. It doesn't help. That's what Krishna is advising us. Okay, so that's a good question. Okay, so and that's pretty much I have told. So you can go and read Gita now. If you read Gita from this perspective, there are many angles I can speak Gita. There are many angles, many perspectives you can talk Gita. Yeah.
Yesterday you said about first chapter name being observing the armies.
Yeah.
Is there a different angle to that, or just about the narration begins with?
This is what I have told, na? Observing means perspective. That's why Vyasadeva starts with observing the army. Arjuna is standing, Krishna is standing. Krishna is seeing armies, Arjuna is seeing armies. Krishna is seeing from different angle, Arjuna is seeing from different angle. And that Arjuna's angle is bringing him sorrows, Krishna's angle is bringing him happiness. So in Mahabharata, when Bhima's son, Bhima's son? Who is that? When he died, Krishna was dancing. And then Bhima comes and Arjun comes. They tell Krishna, what happened to you? You've gone mad? I mean to say, our son has died and you're dancing, you're happy. And he had a cake party. He wanted to do party. So then what's happening? So Krishna told Arjun, see, the death of 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗃 is your life. Because Karna used his arrow, no? Which he actually kept for Arjuna. So Krishna was telling Arjuna, I'm happy because his death is your life. And you are my devotee. And your life is saved. That's why I'm happy. So two perspectives, no? So Bhima is very unhappy, sad, oh my child has died. Krishna is happy because my devotee is saved. Same situations, two different perspectives, two different, same action, different thoughts, different results. Is it? So that's what is all first chapter about. That's why I told you, I gave you that example, cutting finger. So your finger cuts and whole house is on you, what happened to my finger, band-aid and this and that. But then a call comes and your house is on fire, you forget this finger. It's perspective, no? Where you focus, that happens. So if you focus goes there, you forget this. That's why Krishna says focus on soul. All sorrows gone, immediate. Now itself you can become happy. Living and think I'm soul, I'm not this body.
So that's why the politicians, there are so many problems in the country, and then politicians will make you focus on terrorism and make a big issue and make you forget this.
Actually same technique they are using, all techniques they have learned from Krishna. It's all coming from Gita. So who was he? Freud, Sigmund Freud? The father of psychology. He gave the concept of subconscious and conscious, 8 and so his nephew was there whose name was Edward Burney. Edward Burney. Go and read about him. So Sigmund Freud was in Europe. This guy, nephew, he came to America and he got trained from Sigmund Freud. And Sigmund Freud's theory was this, subconscious mind. If you can make people focus on something else, they'll forget what they need. What they need, they will forget, and they will be automatically be forced to buy something which they don't want to buy. That is advertisement. That is advertisement. You make somebody buy something which he doesn't want to buy without force. That is advertisement. So that all concept they are using from Gita. That's all. That's all. Put shopping, malls, advertise. So they'll forget what's happening in the country. And nobody will, and politicians will easily do corruption. They'll loot you, they'll plan devices, and you have no idea what's happening because you're busy shopping. New products, this product, that product, this product, and they're doing their work, no problem. So it's a technique to distract you. The television is a technique to distract you, and they know what they're doing. For us, it's entertainment. They promote like this, it's entertainment, it's nice for you, you'll be happy. But no, it's a big racket. They know how to manipulate people. So it's a good insight. That's first chapter all about. Observation. So please come to this program. Take knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, you don't have proper thoughts. If you don't have proper thoughts, result is totally different. You need proper thoughts. You need to train your mind to think properly. Then we can be happy, otherwise it's okay. Thank you very much.